Hello, carrying on with Word documents. I'm going to copy the next bit of text into here. So I'm going to come down, find my file, which for Pearson's will be in your folder, the area which will be told at the beginning of the exam. For City and Guilds, your file will be in, or any items that you need, it will actually be on the screen, on the online screen. So just lost my thing for a minute, just bear with me. While I go and find my text files. There we go. Right, so we've copied across the front part of this little menu. We're going to copy off the next bit, which is the back part here. So I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to take all the information I need. Oops, missed the A. Take all the information I need. I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste it in. Now, obviously we can see it's got a bit stretched here and everything, so it's obviously kicked onto the next page, so these things may happen. So what we can try and do is move the text boxes, and this is where I would say to you to amend the screen. So if I put my show and hide on, I can see it's clicked down. Let's see if I can delete that and get rid of it. I think this is too low. So what we can do is amend the size or the additional space that we're not using on this page. So I'm going to come to layout, I'm going to come to margins, and I'm going to increase or decrease the margins on the screen. And we can see it's just amended the space around, which is everything's okay. So I can open up, see if it'll let me open up this. Oops. Things going array here. It's clicking on too fast. Into down, there we go. So I've got text box, I've got tables which look like text boxes, similar size. I'm just going to make sure all my data is consistent. So the headings, like I'm saying, I'm going to bold them, I'm going to make them 12. So I'm going to make this one the same. So I'm going to format painter and I'm going to copy across. I can see it wants to go up a bit. So I'm starting to make things more consistent. Now, text like this, you want to be thinking about how can I format this text. Now this one here could go in bullet points, for instance. So if I highlighted all this text, it suits itself, or it lends itself to bullet points because it's showing you what to do in an order, isn't it? So I can come up to my bullet point list and I can click bullet points. This is fine. And an extension of this, don't so much need for the exam, but an extension of the bullet points. If you come to here, the paragraph section, the drop down, I'll move this out of the way, we can see that my bullet points have been indented 0.63 centimeters in. So if I don't like that indentation, I want it closer, I can reduce the indentation and the bullet points move to the left of it, which obviously makes the sentence, hopefully we'll put some of these sentences in one line, but I can see there's quite a bit of text there. So this is for that. I'm going to amend some of the data, so I've got a format in here for bullet points. I've got the heading done this. I could have this underlined. So I want you to start playing with this and start thinking about how you can amend this text and make it fit for purpose. Things like this, additional information, which is different from this, because this is all talking about the method to how to cook the product. This doesn't link to that, it's additional. So it wants to be a different style of font, color, alignment, so it stands out from that. So for things like this, I would center a line, italicize, and I would give it a deeper cut, maybe a blue or something like that, so my eye, it can see the differentiation between this style and that style. This is the kind of things you're looking for. For here, where it says the weight range of a large sized egg is, and then it's got this asterisk, or sorry, these chevrons and information in the middle. This is more for Pearson's. So in a Pearson's exam, you'll be entering this information that you answered in section A, task 1, which you've gone through already. So you would be putting that information there and getting rid of this text. For City and Guilds, we don't have that. So this is a menu. It's a quick intro into a menu, but please have a play around with it. See if you can do a lot better than this. Send me your products or your finished product and we'll have a chat about it. So that's side by side. I want to show you something about tables. So I've got a bit of information here, and basically it's a bit of text that is going to go into a Word document. Could be a newsletter or something. But when you see this, you want to be looking and think, oh, how can I format that in the text? Now, because it's separated by commas, here it's telling me I could use a table, so I could convert text to table and put it in a table, or I could put it in a text box. So if I insert, I can come over here to a text box. I can click on a text box, so I could put all this in a text box. This doesn't warrant that, but I'm just trying to give you some examples. So think about using text boxes, bullet points, but what we're going to do is we're going to convert this to a table. So I'm going to highlight the data, I'm going to come to insert, the drop down on tables, and I'm going to put convert text to table. It's automatically trying to decipher what you need. So it's saying 3 columns. But you can see there's a comma. So there's one column, there's the second column, and the third comma, there's the third column. So it's definitely 3 columns, and I can see there are 4 rows. So if I press OK, it puts it in a table. You can amend the table by hovering on the middle and dragging this across, or double clicking, similar to like we do with columns in spreadsheets. We can start amending this table to make it just a little bit more professional looking, shall we say. There we go. Now, once you've done that, and that format looks nice and professional and fit for purpose in your document, you can actually take the table away. So if you highlight this, we could, if we go to, my apologies, design, we can come to borders, and then we can take no borders. So if I just hover on that, you can see what it's done, but the structure is left there. But I think just leave the borders in. It looks nice, that, doesn't it? So there's how you convert text to table. There's a few other things I want to show you. Let's have a look. If I go back to, yeah, I'll come to this. Now, this is an exemplar of what you're trying to make your newsletter or your document look like, and I want to show you all the things that are going on. We can see a border, we can see text to tables, we can see subheadings are all consistent size. I can see the heading is the biggest thing on there. I see the logo is no bigger than 3 centimeters. The yellow highlighting bit is for Pearson's. That's where you'd add your information that needs to go in there from previous questions. I can see bullet points has been used. And alignment tool has been used here, center align the text, and it's been bold so it stands out from the rest. Definitely for Pearson's, I've got the footer information in here, or else this will not get marked. What else? If I put my show and hide on, I can look at the distances between the paragraphs. They are all consistent. See these? They're all consistent. So you're just looking at professionalism. If I put the view on, let's look at the grid lines. Yeah, and you can see everything is inside the grid lines. So this is the kind of thing you are looking to do. Now, the reason I've come to this one, I want to show you, if it's a letter, how to add a tear-off strip and some pair of scissors. Now, I've not seen this in Pearson's, but I have seen it in a City and Guilds exam where they have to do a tear-off strip and add a pair of scissors. So what I'm going to do with this, if you don't mind, I'm just going to delete this text. So let's just pretend this is a letter. Let's increase that font, that text size. Let's just imagine this is a letter, and here I want to add a tear-off strip. Then underneath I'm going to put a table in, and the recipient's going to answer some questions, tear it off, and send it back to the school. So I'm going to tab down a few there. I'm going to come down to here. I'm going to add a tear-off strip. I'm going to insert. I'm going to go to pictures. Sorry, my apologies, to shapes. And this line here, I'm going to click on this line. I've got one of my recently used. However, if you don't, you can click on this one here. I'm just going to draw a line across. I'm not going to go right from all the way from side to side. I'm just going to have it there. Now the shape outline, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to color it black. I'm going to go back in shape outline and I'm going to hover on the dash. And I'm going to choose a dotted line that looks like a tear-off strip. I'm going to go back into shape outline, and now I'm going to look at the weight and just increase it slightly so it stands out, nothing too in your face. Now, I'm just going to shorten that line a bit because I want to add the scissors. Because I want to add the scissors here. So I can take off the show and hide. So I'm going to put my scissors here. To insert the scissors, and this is what I do like about it. It may say insert some scissors. So if you just follow the breadcrumbs, insert, come all the way over to symbols. And if you don't have it in there, which I don't think you will because you'll be logging onto someone else's account or the college account, I'm going to look at more symbols. I'm going to do the drop down here, and I'm going to come all the way down, drag it all the way down to wingdings, to this one here, wingdings, and then I get some scissors. I'm going to place a pair of scissors in there just by inserting. This is, like I was saying, this is more for City and Guilds. Ooh. Close that, my apologies. Too many scissors going on here. So this is what you may have in a letter. They may ask you to put a pair of scissors in and a tear off strip. Then you would just put a table in here, but they will tell you what columns and rows they require. We've done tables already, so I'm just going to briefly go over that. Tables, now let's just say they want, they've got 4 rows, 2 columns, something like that. Now they'll have questions that will be in the exam for you to type in here. We've seen how to drag them in or cut and paste them in. I would just close this up so we don't, so we don't have too much white space going on. And this is for their responses, so I'd leave that quite long. So their written responses when they return will be on here. So that's text boxes, tear off strips, scissors, tables. One more to show, images. So I'm going to come to, let's have a look, I'll come back to this menu and I'm going to put an image in here. So I'm going to insert an image, pictures, I'm going to go to my Kermit logo, and we see it comes quite large, so I'm just going to make it smaller. It's messing everything around at the moment because it's too big, so let me just wrap the text and tight it so I can move it around now and everything. Now what I want to do is put that image in here, but we can see straight away as soon as I start to move it, it messes everything up, doesn't it? Let's just make that image a bit smaller because what it's doing is trying to open up a new page. So if I start moving it towards the text, we can see it disturbs the text and we don't want that. So what we can do is right click, we can come down to wrap text and you can put behind text. And then when you move, my apologies, this could be because, oh, this is not good. Let me just go back a minute. Cool. I just need to move it out of there a bit. There we go. So let's just put wrap text and let's try behind text now. And let's see if it works. Oh, it's messing around. I like this when this happens. Let's go down to another page and let's try it here. So my apologies for this. Let's come in here and let's try and put it behind text. That's better. So now when I move it, you can see it's not affecting the text. I mean, it's going over it. So when I want to get it as close to the text as possible, it doesn't affect the text. So I could put it there and then just click off it. And there we go. So this is everything to do with Word documents. It is a bit fast, so if you do want to clarify anything, please email me. But what I'm going to put up on the website as well is some text files which will look like this, and they will be for the PowerPoints, the presentations, or for the Word document. So it could be a letter, poster, newsletter. However, if you want to create your own documents, please do. Your own PowerPoints. Don't do any more than 5 slides, and send them to me for feedback. I'll look forward to them. So what I'd like to do at the moment is just see if I can. I think that'll be everything. Let's just see if I can get everything off. Ooh. And then we'll call it a day, and I'll look forward to your feedback. So thank you very much. I just need to log off. So that's the end of the video. I just need to find my on off button. So if you bear with me, there we go. So have a nice day. Thank you very much.